So today we'll be discussing from the 15th chapter, verse 12 to 15th. Previous to this, we discussed that just before this, Krishna has told that about the initially about the upside down tree, how that has to be cut with the detachment, sword of detachment, that is through the knowledge. And he tells also about the transmigration of the soul. And then he says some can understand it and some cannot understand. Those who are moodhas, they cannot understand. And in this section, third section, he is telling that how he is the maintainer of everything. In one sense, he is only the doer of everything and providing all the facilities for us to even be happy in this material world, for our basic sustenance and everything. So in that regard, in the 12th shloka, he tells about the cosmological arrangement, how everywhere he has made the arrangement for the proper working of everything. And then in the 13th, he tells about the terrestrial arrangement. And in the 14th, he tells about the physiological, that means in our body, how he helps in terms of the digestion and all. And the spiritual arrangement, he speaks in the 15th one. That way, if you see, Krishna is the maintainer who is maintaining all of us in at each and every step of our life also. So in the 12th one, he says, Yadadityagatam tejo jagat bhasyate kilam yacchandramasi yaccagno tattejo vidhi mamakam. That the sun and the moon, and if you see the arrangement of the all the in our solar system also, that how each and every planet and the sun, moon, everything is running in its own orbit. According to the science also, it is said that even if the earth goes even slightly closer to the sun, the heat will increase so much that we may get burnt away. Or if it goes little away from the sun, it will become very cold. So according to this, what the arrangement of the orbit is there, that is proper. And it doesn't go anywhere apart from that orbit. That is a wonderful arrangement of Krishna. And Prabhupada writes in the purport also that how the without the sun there cannot be any sunlight, and without the sunlight there cannot be any photosynthesis. Without the photosynthesis there cannot be any life in this world. And in the next shloka also, Krishna tells that not only that I enter into each planet and I become the moon, by which Pushnami Chaushadi Sarva Somo Bhutva Rasatmaka, all the rasas, there are 6 kinds of taste. And all those tastes in the vegetables and the plants, I gave it through the moon rays. So that way, even the food what we are taking in that, the taste he is giving. And just imagine that if there is no fire in the digestive fire, then whatever food we take, even that we cannot digest. That's why it is also called as the Jatra Agni. Just to understand, oh, is there Agni inside us? If all of you for one moment, if you just close your ears with the fingers, you will hear the sound of the fire. Just like if you are standing very close to the big fire which is burning, we'll hear the sound of the flames, the burning. And the same, the voice we hear when we close our ears. That is because of the fire which is there inside the body. And when the soul leaves this body, immediately that sound stops. So even our scientists, when they send any satellite to the orbit, first thing is they have to do so much of preparation in terms of making the satellite everything, and afterwards they have to constantly keep monitoring. In Hassan there is a master control facility, MCF. Whenever the rocket is launched, immediately they take the control over here and constantly observe and check whether is it going in the right direction at the right time, has it gone to the orbit, and constant monitoring is needed. Whereas Krishna's arrangement is so nice that everything is happening on its own at right time. At right time, the day happens, the night happens, the season changes, everything. Because in the one of the shlokas also we have heard that Mama Ivamsha Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana. Krishna says that all the living entities are my children. So we being his children, he loves us, and when we wanted to enjoy, Krishna said, okay, I have made this arrangement and this earth, you go there and enjoy. For us to enjoy, we need the facilities. So he has made all the facilities also here, through which we can peacefully enjoy according to our desire. We saw in the first session also when Suvan Gaur had taken that how this whole upside down tree, this material world, is on the ocean of desire. It's our desire which has brought us to this world, and using that desire we have to go back. So in this same shloka, Krishna is also giving an indication that how many times when people are told about the God, they ask, does really God exist? Can you show me? As if that God is a order carrier, or when we go to the hotel and we order, I need this, I need that. And the waiter notes it down and brings it. The same way we consider God to be order carrier and he should be present whenever we call. Need not be. He may not be directly present, but if you want to see him, we can see him at each and every moment through different ways. So in the 10th chapter also, Krishna says that the sun and the moon are like the eyes. So that way when you see the sun and the moon, that gives us an opportunity to remember the Lord. Oh, he is maintaining us. So that way, through the rays of the sunlight, he is maintaining us by giving life in the plants, and which is food for all of us. So even if you see that, as I was just telling, that how it properly goes in the orbit, you can see everything is happening according to the right time, and it never happens that it goes here and there.
We are sharing something.
Oh,
It is not shared, Prabhu. The video.
yes. So that way, what like Krishna has made the arrangement as the perfect arrangement for all of us. In one sense, he does everything just for us to turn towards him. In the Shvetashvatara Upanishad also it comes that it compares the Atma and Paramatma to be like two birds. This bird is, the Atma is busy eating sometimes the very juicy, tasty fruit and happy, and sometimes eating a bitter fruit and feeling sad. Busy in eating this, and the Paramatma, the second bird, is just waiting for it to turn towards it. That when it will turn towards me, then I am ready to help in all the possible ways. So here also, we can see that how Krishna has made arrangement for our sustenance in each and every level. So I become the moon, thereby supply juice to all. And Krishna is maintained at the personal level also. In the 14, Krishna tells, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita Pranapana Samayukta Pachamyannam Chaturvidam. Aham Vaishvanaro, I am the digestive fire in all the living entities. And Pranapana Samayukta, there are 10 kinds of air which the Srimad Bhagavatam says in the body. And it is without the air, our proper maintenance or the working of the body cannot happen. That's why when you go to the doctor, Ayurvedic doctors, they hold our nadi and check kapha, vata, pitta, three things they see. And based on that, the imbalance of that gives rise to the any disease. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it mentions about the I'll just share it. In the 3rd canto 6 chapter 9th verse, it tells about what are the 10 airs which are there in us, in our body. The movements of the body are first generated from the heart, and all the activities of the body are made possible by the senses, powered by 10 kinds of air within the body. The 10 kinds of air are described as follows. The main air passing through the nose and breathing is called prana. This is the first one. The air which passes through the rectum as evacuated bodily air is called as apana. The air which adjusts the foodstuff within the stomach and which sometimes sounds as belching is called samana. Third one. The air which passes through the throat and the stoppage of which constitutes suffocation is called udana. And the total air which circulates throughout the entire body is called as the vyana. So these are the 5 airs which many of the times when the people do before taking the food, when they do parishinchana and all, they may recite these 5 airs, but there are 5 more subtle airs which are there, which Srimad Bhagavatam mentions. Subtler than these 5 airs, there are others also. That which facilitates the opening of the eyes and mouth. Now I'm speaking and I'm blinking my eyes. For that there is one air which is helping us, that is Naga air. Without that, we cannot speak, we cannot blink our eyes. If there is any imbalance in that, then we may get some problem with these. The air which increases appetite is called Krikara air. Sometimes some people, no matter how much they eat, or they cannot digest it, or they will not have the proper appetite. They don't feel like eating only. Why? Because there is imbalance of this Krikara air. The air which helps contraction is called Kurma air. The air which helps relaxation by opening the mouth wide when you yawn is called Devadatta air. And the air which helps sustenance is called Dhananjaya air. So these are the 10 kinds of the air which are there in the body. And Krishna says that I am Vaishvanara Pranadevamashita Pranapana Samayukta Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. So through this I am helping in the terms of the digestion of the four kinds of foodstuffs are mentioned here. Pachami annam chaturvidam. What are the four types of the foodstuffs which are being mentioned here? So that is one thing is which is chewed, which we may rice, chapati and all may chew and take. That is one. Second one is which is drunk, the liquid items, may drink water or milk. That. The third one which is licked. We put little honey in the hand and we may lick it. That is the third one. And the fourth one is that which is sucked. Just like when we eat the sugar cane, we may chew it and then suck the juice from that. Or the drumstick when we eat, we chew it and then we suck the juice. So these are the four kinds of the foodstuffs which are being mentioned. And Krishna says, I am the one who is helping and the proper maintenance of this, the digestive system and even the whole of the body. So that way, the Lord is not just helping one externally in the surrounding, providing everything, but internally is also helping us. And apart from that, in the next one, Krishna says, I'm seated in the heart as Paramatma. As I said that he's waiting for us to just turn towards him so that he can provide all the more help. But we are so busy eating the fruits that we are not turning towards him. In the 15th shloka, Krishna says, Sarvasya cham hridi sannivishto amatta smritirjnanam apohanam cha vedesya sarve rameva vedyo vedanta kritveda videva chaham. So he says that Sarvasya cham hridi sannivishto, and Sarvasya in everyone's Hridi means the heart. Aham, I am seated sannivishto. From me comes the matta, from me. Vritir jnanam apohanam cha. So from me comes the smritir, the remembrance. Just imagine that when we sleep in the night, this is the air which is going. Unless the Supreme Lord helps in digestion, we cannot eat it. Yeah. Just imagine that when you get up in the morning after the sleep, if you are unable to remember who am I, how will be our life? So you might have come across sometimes that generally in the daytime, if you take rest, you're tired and you have taken rest. After 1 hour, you get up. I have experienced personally also. Sometimes it takes few moments to understand whether is it I'm getting up in the morning or is it the night or the evening, what time it is, where I am. Just imagine that if Krishna takes away that remembrance, how will be our life? It will be pathetic that I sleep and I don't know who am I. Or apohanam, is the forgetfulness bad or good? Sometimes we may curse, why do I have this forgetfulness? If it is not there, it would have been very nice. But no, forgetfulness is also needed. Just imagine something has happened to one of our very near and dear one. It will be a constant botheration for us. And because of that, we cannot be even peaceful. Even constantly like that will be coming to our mind and constantly disturbing us. But because Krishna has given this ability to forget, apohanam, that's why after some time we forget those pains and we can lead a normal life. If without that, even the day-to-day life becomes very difficult for us. He gives us the knowledge about everything he has given in the scriptures. That's what he says, that by all the Vedas I am to be known. Vedesha sarver ahameva vedya. Even the Brahmaji, the first living entity, when he appeared from the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he could not understand who he is. Who am I? What am I supposed to do? He could not understand. All he heard was two words, tapa. Then he closed his eyes and meditated for a long, long time. And then, when he meditated, then he got Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave, that the knowledge was revealed within the heart. Adi Kavi is Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave, Hridaya of the heart. Vivejnan Hridaya Prakashito. So that way, that is, the knowledge is revealed by the Krishna. So, and indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta. Vyasadeva, he wrote it down, and Vyasadeva is considered to be the literary incarnation of Krishna. In the Bhagavatam, it comes, first canto, 7th chapter, Krishna swadamo pagate dharma jnana adivistaha kalo drishta drishamisham puranarko adnoditaha. Krishna swadama upagate. Krishna, when he left his spiritual abode, dharma jnana adivisa, along with dharma and jnana, kalo drishta drishamisham, seeing the fate of the Kali Yuga, Purana arko adhunoditaha. Purana, in the form of this Bhagavata Purana, like the sun, he has arisen. So, knowing the fate of the Kali Yuga people, Vyasadeva put all this Vedic literature in the written format. Because in the Srimad Bhagavatam comes that what is the nature of the people of the Kali Yuga? Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hupadrataha. They are very dull in their intelligence and always constantly disturbed. And everything it is said that in the age of Kali Yuga it goes down. Right from the remembrance, memory, intelligence, the strength, ayu, everything. So that's why we do not remember anything. So for our benefit, he wrote it down. And when we read these scriptures, as last time also I had mentioned that the scriptures are compared to be like the key. We are put in a jail, but we have been given the key also. All we have to do just is we have to put our hand and open it to come out of it. So when we read these scriptures, so what we understand is who is Krishna, who am I, what is our relationship. Ultimately, through the Krishna in this shloka also is telling that I am to be known from all the Vedas. So, by understanding the Vedas, one can understand three things. First thing is the Sambandha Jnana. What is that? That is a relationship with the God. That is, who am I? Who is the Supreme Lord? What is my relationship with Him? That Sambandha Jnana is revealed. Once the Sambandha Jnana is revealed, then what is needed is how to establish that Sambandha. So that is the Abhideya. Abhideya is a process by which we can approach Him. It will give do this, don't do this, certain rules and regulations by which we can obtain Krishna or make that Sambandha become stronger. And it also tells about the Prayojana. What is the supreme goal which we are going to attain through this? So that also tells the Vedas tell about the Sambandha, Abhijaya, and Prayojana. So ultimately, by understanding this, who is the ultimate goal? Just like Purandaradasa has sung, Allide Nammane Illiruvudu Summane, that we have come here because of our own desire. And now, once we understand that, oh, this is not my eternal home, Krishna again he has told, Tadhama Paramamama. That abode of mine, which is the eternal, which is permanent. And again, next he is going to tell that how there are two kinds of people. Dvavimo Purusho Loke Ksharakshara Ivacha. So we have left him and come. Now we have to make an endeavor to go back to him. And if you have little bit desire and we make little bit attempt, he is there to help us, just like the Paramatma bird who is ready to help us. But we have to turn towards him. We'll discuss in short from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the pastime of the Samudra Mantana, wherein we can understand that how Krishna is so eager to help, provided we are ready to accept his help. That pastime very clearly tells us also that how he does everything. We have to be just an instrument in his hand. That's what Krishna told Arjuna. Nimitta matra bhavasavya sachi. You just be an instrument, Arjuna. Already his soldiers have been killed by me. But if you fight, you'll get the credit. You take the credit. If not, anyways, I'm going to do it. Because whenever I come for the sake of paritranaya sadham vinashaya cha dushkratam. So I come to establish dharma that anyways I'm going to do. But if you do it, you'll get the credit. So Krishna is telling that. So that way, we'll see in the Samudra Mantana Lila how at each and every step, Krishna is there to help us, provided we are agreeing to take his help. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So the whole episode of Samudra Mantana Leela comes in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein when the Bali Maharaj, being the Asura, he had served his spiritual master Shukracharya and he had become more powerful. And on the other hand, Indra, offending the his spiritual master, he had lost all his power. And at that time, they didn't know what to do. They go and take shelter of Brahmaji and they approach the Supreme Lord. At that time, the Supreme Lord says that you don't worry, I'll help you out. But provided you agree to my words and you go and make a truce with the Daityas. Although they are enemies, but you propose that we'll do Mantana of the Samudra. And many things will come and we'll get the nectar also. And for this proposal, the Danavas, they will be ready. So it is like being told that you should go approach your enemy and make a peace treaty with him. So Indra agrees to it. And Lord also says, I'm there with you, but whatever comes from that, don't run behind it. I will award you whatever you are supposed to get. So then the Lord helps in terms of he says now that they go and talk to the Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj agrees. And when the Bali Maharaj agrees, then they have to bring the Mandara mountain. When they go to the Mandara mountain, they were trying to lift it, but it was so heavy with the Devatas and the Danavas, they were not able to lift. Many of them were getting crushed under it while lifting, and they were getting troubled, and they were not able to bring it in any ways. Seeing their predicament, the Lord helps them to bring it. The Lord empowers the Garuda first to put the whole Mandara mountain on its back, and with the Lord, Devatas and Daityas, they all sit on the Garuda, and the Garuda brings all of them to this place. So for the churning, to be used as a churning rod. And then now they need the rope. So for that, they arrange the Vasuki. And Vasuki, being the serpent, it will be fearful in the presence of the Garuda. So the Lord tells Garuda to leave that place. When the Garuda leaves, then both of them they put and they start churning. The Devatas on one side and the Danavas on the other side. So initially, the Lord was personally present, and also the Devatas were given the front portion that is near the head, and the Daityas were given the tail portion. And when they go there, they say that, oh, do you think that we are lesser than you? We are the stronger. You should give us the front portion, the head portion. And they wanted to come near the head of the Vasuki. And the Lord tells the Devatas, you just accept it, and you go behind. And the Devatas follow it. They go behind. And even at that time, when they keep the Mandara mountain, it was not properly sitting, and also it needs some support on it to keep it and churn. Then the Lord personally manifests himself in the form of the Kurma. So as a tortoise, he comes below the Mandara mountain and balances it. And when they start churning, he takes pleasure as if his back is being scratched. Then when the start churning, at that time, because down is the Urma is there, it starts, there was no balance which was happening. It was moving here and there. Then Lord comes as Ajita, and in the form of Ajita, Lord sits on the top of the mountain, and he holds the mountain. And after that, when they start churning, they are getting, it's not such an easy task. So they're getting, their strength is reducing. So immediately the Lord arranges for the drizzling of the rain drizzles. And also he enters in the different modes. In the Vasuki, he enters in the form of the mode of ignorance, and he brings enters the Devatas and the Danavas, give them the mode of passion, so that they can be passionate to get the Amrita. And when they start churning, then the fire starts coming from the mouth of the Devata, the Vasuki. and that burns all the Daityas. So here also you can see that the Lord had initially he had taken with the Devatas the side of the head of the Vasuki. But the Daityas, they thought that we are no less, we want to be in the front. And they put themselves in the precarious condition. So when they start churning, the first thing which comes out is the halala. So in this photo also you can see that how the Ajita is sitting on the top holding the Mandara mountain. And when the halala comes, they were all, it was a deadly poison. So that time Lord guides that now you go and request Lord Shiva to accept this poison halala. And when they go and request Shiva for accepting this halala, he, out of compassion for all the living entities, he takes it. And when he accepts this poison, he drinks it, and his whole throat becomes the blue in color. At that time, Mother Parvati holds the neck, and he gets the name Nilakanta. And while drinking, it is said that if you see in the photo, a few drops of this poison fell down, and that was drunk by the scorpions and the snakes, and that's why they are poisonous. So finally, after when they chant many things, they come. The Lord, he had told them that don't run behind anything. I will give whatever you are supposed to get. So when the halala comes, he tells that you go to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva accepts it. And then the Surabhi comes, and that was given to the great sages. Then the Ucheshrava comes, that was given to Bali Maharaj. And the Airavata, the elephant comes, that was given to Indra. And then the Kaustubha and Padmaraga, they come, that was given to Lord Vishnu. So then Parijata and Apsaras, they come, and they were given to Indra. And then the Mother Lakshmi manifests from that. And Mother Lakshmi sees everyone, and she sees that only one person who doesn't have any fault is the Lord, and he accepts him. And then the Varuni comes, it was given to the demons. And finally, a dark complexioned man appears with a pot in his hand. And seeing that was a nectar, and the Lord gives it to the Devatas, but understanding what it is, immediately the Daityas, they go and snatch it away from the hand, and they start running away. And till that time they were all together, but now they start telling amongst themselves, aham purvam, that I am supposed to get it first, I am supposed to get it first. And that way they run. So the Devatas, they were not knowing what to do, but they had faith in the words of the Lord, because of which they just waited, looked towards the Lord. Lord said, okay, I'll do the needful. There was a time the Lord accepted the beautiful form of the Mohini Murti. And when the Mohini Murti came, she was so beautiful that all the Daityas, they looked at her. And they thought, she has come just for me. And when she just came in the front, they said, oh, you distribute the Amrita. The Mohini Murti said, hey, how can you put faith in a lady whom you don't know? I may cheat. They said, no. You will not cheat. Whatever you do, they'll accept it. So Mohini Murti said, what if I give it to the Devatas? Everybody had the faith that she will accept me only, because I am the best amongst all those who are there. So that is the mentality of the demonic mentality. Once one question was asked to Yudhishthira Maharaj and the Duryodhana. For Duryodhana, it was asked, can you find out a person who is better than you? And to Yudhishthira, it was asked, can you find out a person who is worse than you? And both came back and gave the same answer. There is no one. So Duryodhana thought that there is no better person than me. Everyone is lesser than me. I am the best. And whereas Yudhishthira Maharaj thought, I am the worst. There is nobody who is lower than me. This is the mentality of a saintly person, or a person with the saintly qualities and a person with the demoniac qualities. So here also the demons, they were thinking that the Mohini Murti is going to give me only the nectar. So they gave the pot in her hand. And she captivated all of them by her beauty. And she told everyone, sit in two lines. In front of them, she made the Devatas also sit in the line. And she went towards the Devatas. And all the Daityas, they're looking at her beauty. And she started serving. Still they are looking at Mohini Murti's beauty. And at that time, two people, they sensed what is happening. And that was Rahu and Ketu. And they went and sat in the middle. And they got a little bit of the Amrit. Whereas then later the Lord served all the Devatas. And that's how the Lord cheated the Daityas. So if you see in this whole of the episode, if you see, Lord took the Ajita and he sat on the top of the Mandara mountain holding it. And then he became the Kurma Avatara. And also, like now, as a Sahasrabahu with 1,000 hands, he was holding it from the top. And he came in the form of Dhanvantari, brought nectar pot. The Dhanvantari is also the incarnation of the Supreme Lord only. And then the Mohini Murti, he bewildered the demons and gave the nectar to the Devatas. And finally, even with the eight-handed form of the Lord, he killed the Kalanemis, Lion, Mali, Sumali, and Malyavan, and all others. So that is during when the nectar was distributed. After that, the fight happens. In that, Lord helps. So if you see in this pastime also that how that the Supreme Lord is making all the arrangement and he is helping each and every step to the Devatas. Just because the Devatas had agreed to be under the following the words of the Supreme Lord. The same way when we also in our life agree to follow the instructions given by the Supreme Lord, the Lord is there or he is ready to help us in all the ways. It is who we should agree to it. And he has given all the what to be done, what not to be done in the scriptures. So the Vedas, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. What is the real dharma? That the words of the Supreme Lord is the real dharma. And when we follow those words which are given in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam and all, Bhagavad Gita is the word spoken by Krishna and the Bhagavatam is the about Lord Krishna. When we follow the instructions which is given by the Supreme Lord, at that time we can really find the real happiness and we can go back to him. And he is there to help us. Just like in this pastime, he helped us at every step. The same way in the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter also, we saw that how the Lord is making every arrangement because he is the loving Father. Sarvas, he says that all the living entities, Mamaivamsho, Jiva Bhuta, Jiva Loka Sanatana, they are all my part and parcel. And in another place he says, Aham Bija Pradapita, that I am the seed giving Father. So that way, when we agreed to follow the instructions given by the Supreme Father, then he is there to help us at each and every step. We saw how he is helping us in the cosmological level, terrestrial level, and physiological level, and in the spiritual level also, by giving the Bhagavad Gita, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and telling us what to be done, what not to be done. Just like when you go to the doctor, doctor gives the prescription and the prohibition. Do these things, don't do these things. Right now, Corona is there. If you go, somebody goes to the doctor, he says, like, no, drink hot water, take the vaporizer daily, do this, don't take any cold items, don't sit in the AC. Sorry, do this, and don't sit in the AC, don't drink cold water, don't go where congested places. So both, he says, the to be done, there is prescription and the prohibition to be avoided. When you follow all these things which are mentioned in the scriptures, then Lord is personally there to help us to take us home back to Godhead. That's what he wants us. That is what the goal of the life. So in the next section also, Krishna goes on to tell that how there are two kinds of people who are, some are come to this world, some stay in the spiritual world only. And amongst both of them, the supreme is the myself, that is, I am known as the Purushottama, and I am giving this topmost knowledge to you, by understanding which will come back to me. That's what Krishna is saying. So this Purushottama is very special, and by taking advantage of this, we can also prepare ourselves more and more to go closer to that supreme abode. Having gone there, nobody has to return back. So thank you very much. I stop here. If any of you have any questions or comments, I'll be happy to take it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It's really a wonderful class, wonderfully prepared and delivered to us. Especially you started with the Lord, he is the moon. He said, I am the juice of all the plants, that thing. Then you said, Jnanam apokanamcha. I am the remembrance and forgetfulness, like that. Then you taken that Samudra Mandan, each and everything, and some of the new things, even first time I'm hearing it. You've taken it so nicely, wonderfully done, Prabhuji. And that some Mataji, Anita Mataji was asking, what is Padmaraga?
Actually, Padmaraga, just like the Kaustuba is like a jewel, the same Padmaraga is also another jewel, and its name is Padmaraga.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So the Lord is known by, he has the Srivatsa mark on his chest, and also the Kaustuba jewel he wears. The same way another is Padmaraga. That is also another gem.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Right.
Prakashatma Prabhu, our senior devotee Prakashatma Prabhu is there with us.
Yes, Roji, would you like to share something, Prakashatma Prabhu?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, very nicely rendered.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very nicely put, simple to understand. So very nice, Prabhu. I've been enjoying it for the last couple of weeks. So very nice, Prabhu. Thank you.
With the blessings of all the senior devotees.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Nadia Nandini here.
Yes, Nathan, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful class, and in very simple way explained, Prabhuji. Really, it's understandable to all, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. We have to learn so many, preaching skill from you all, Prabhuji. You and Surana Gaurahari Prabhuji, Murali Murari Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you for arranging this special class, Prabhuji. Really, in Purushottam. Today, in fact, because of internet issues, I entered late. I have the satisfaction that at least I didn't miss this part. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Purushottamans, both of you making each and every one of us, those who participated in this, you are making us blissful, really. by giving your real. See, these are the things very difficult for us to get, and especially when you deeply gone through the Samudram and then this thing, lot of new messages we understood.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So nice of you, Prabhu. All, especially for this month, you are supporting us for developing our this thing. It is a special blessing for those people who are attending it. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, one special request. Please share the recording, Prabhuji, so that I can forward it to many groups. Bhakti Riksha Mataji.
Mataji, what we will do after all the 4 sessions are over, we will consolidate all the 4 recording and
Wonderful, Prabhu.
fully
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam. It was such a wonderful class, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So I thank all of you for giving me an opportunity to share some things for my own benefit. It is said that when somebody gives class, the audience, how they are able to receive it or how much they are able to understand or whether they are hearing or not, we may not know, but at least one person will surely get benefit. That is the speaker, because he has to be conscious and he has to be, okay, what he is speaking, and he has to contemplate also what to speak. So that way, all of you gave me an opportunity to remember for the Mananam sometime, remembering Krishna. So I thank all of you very much for this opportunity.
Especially when you hear from the people, especially wonderful brahmacharis through their mouth, if when we are hearing, that effect will be much more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
There
Hare
is no
Krishna, Prabhu. You and Swarna Gaura Hari Prabhu, when you come for the class, I'm so feeling good, Andre, that I can't express, Prabhu. But if you two come, I feel too divinely. I don't know how it is. I wanted to express this because everyone is expressing through heart. I thought I should also express it. Really, I feel too good for both of your classes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, we are really blessed to have you.
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, Mataji. So that way, it is your good quality that you are seeing good in us in some ways. So
Hare
thank you.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
If anybody else got any questions to be asked, you can ask. Otherwise, we can close the session. It is already past 8. वंचकल्पतरुभस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
नंदकोटि
अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
की जय.
All glories to the service of both the brahmacharis.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we can unmute it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.